If you're someone who's been looking to get into a side hustle and you want to know how to make money online, because that's what my purpose has been, how to make money online, it's something that everyone looks for. Everyone's trying to find an answer to this. And I have, for the past 2 years, tried these 6 different things. Stay put, because I am going to tell you some ways you can literally just sit down on your laptop, on your phone even if you need to, and you can make money off these things. Potentially. Or can you? That's what we're going to get into, right? So stay tuned, and if you want to skip and if you want to just get to the part where I talk about one of these, you can do that as well. Let's get started. I'm going to start by telling you what these things are and everything. It says it right in front of you, right? Let's not waste time. So the first thing I did is TikTok Shop affiliate. I started this. This is one of the first things that I started when I wanted to start making money on social media. Now, what is TikTok Shop affiliate? If you're someone from the US, UK, or a few other countries, I think, which have TikTok Shop is basically just an online shopping platform on TikTok. And if you're someone who has been on TikTok, when you're scrolling through videos and there are people promoting products and you can buy it from the link in the video and you can buy that product. Well, basically, these people who make these videos, they earn a small commission every time someone buys something off their video on TikTok Shop, basically. So, how it works is you become a TikToker. You can start with 0 followers as well. Some people think you need all of these followers and stuff to start it. No, you don't. And I actually have a video explaining on my channel why that is not the case and how you can start with 0 followers. And what you do is you order a product. You either pay for it or you get a free sample. Depends on if you can get a free sample. Sometimes you can, even if you're a new creator. And you just make videos promoting that product. So for example, I'll show you. I got these Shilajit gummies on TikTok Shop for free. The company sent me a free sample because I asked for it. And I just started making videos promoting these. And these go for, I think, £20. And anyone who bought it from my video, I made £3. So I think it's like 15 or 20%. I made £3 off every single sale I made of these. So basically what you do is you just make a video convincing people why they should buy this. If they buy it from your video, you get a little bit of money. And that's basically how it works. It's very simple. And if you want more advice on this, obviously reach out. So the pros that I've seen with this is it's very easy to make these videos. My typos, excuse those. But yeah, very easy to make these videos. They take about 1 to 2 minutes. Once you get good at these, it takes 1 to 2 minutes. You can range in quality. You can make videos that take hours to make, super edited. But on TikTok, I've seen it's usually the authentic raw videos that usually pop off and people want to buy from, because they want to buy from actual people rather than some curated ad or something. If it seems too much like an ad, people don't usually buy it. So I used to make videos on multiple products. This is just an example. I've had different toys and stuff that I've promoted, like remote control cars and lightsabers. And the good thing about it is that these videos take about 2 to 3 minutes to make. You just sit there, you record it, edit it slightly, put some captions, that's it. Get it out there, people will start buying, right? Yes and no, because most of your videos will not catch on. Most of them won't catch on. But in my experience, if you're someone who's comfortable making around 100 to 200 videos in 1 or 2 months, which might seem like a lot, but like I said, these videos take 2 to 3 minutes to make. So if you're dedicating an hour or 2 hours a day into this, you can post those 100 to 200 videos in a single month. Now, once you do that, maybe out of those 100, 200 videos that you've made, 5 or 10 will get lots of views, right? I'm talking, I've gotten videos that took 2 minutes to make, which have gotten, right, hundreds of thousands of views. And those videos have ended up making me a lot of money, right? $100 to $200 usually if you're hitting more than 100k views on these videos, which is amazing. And what can happen usually is that these videos make money consistently. So I remember this summer, so in June, July, I posted lots of videos and they were still getting sales and paying me till September, even November, which is insane. So these videos can keep paying you for months and months. But what you have to do is it accumulates over time. So you first month you post 100, 200 videos. Second month you post 100, 200 videos. Usually about month 3 or so, that's when it starts making you the real sort of money where you're making hundreds and if not thousands, which some people have made. I've probably made 1,000 or 2,000, but that's over a long period of time. If I stayed consistent with this, it could have probably made me upwards of many thousands. It has with lots of people, right? Now the cons for this and why I don't do this so much anymore is one, it's a bit unstable. It's a bit unstable. You don't know if one of your videos is going to pop off or not. It likely will if you're posting 100, 200 videos, which I only did for a few months. And even so, I'm not even saying I posted 100, 200. Maybe I posted 50 to 100, right? If I did that, if I had the dedication, I could have done it. And I could have made much more money. Also, a pro that I would like to mention is regular payout. So usually when you get a sale, about 15 to 20 days after that, you get that commission in your bank. You can easily withdraw it. So regular payments, it's nice because even months after I stopped uploading, I was still getting about 10 to 20 pounds a day just landing into my bank account, which is quite nice. Now, the cons are that it's a bit unstable, so you will need that. Secondly, it's really brain dead and very boring content to make, and you sort of feel like a sellout as well. It is difficult, not morally, but it's difficult with your ego and your pride and just your want to be creative and to produce good content and stuff. That's not what you're doing. You're producing very brain dead content. So it's a bit demoralizing in that way. And that is something that makes it very difficult to keep on doing it long term. For me, that was it. That it's just too demoralizing to sit there and be like, guys, buy these gummies. Find different ways to make a short video in 2 minutes being like, why you should buy these gummies, has some health benefits, so just buy it. That is the part which sort of got me. And it might get you as well. Because the truth is, you have to sit there and do this boring work of making all these videos every single day, any of them. And it sort of feels like you're just selling out, which you sort of are. But if you're okay with that, and you can do it for a few months, amazing. You can make some really good money. And it's nice. And the last one is, if you're showing your face, it might be a bit embarrassing for you. I have done ones where I have shown my face and where I haven't shown my face. I actually made money with the one that was faceless. So that's quite nice. You don't really have to show your face. You just point the camera towards this and you'll be like, yeah, guys, buy it. But if you want to do that, that's fine. Final words. Do I think it's worth it? I do think it's worth it. Definitely, if you are in a country where you can do it, like the US, UK, and a few more other countries, do it. Try it out. If not, you'll make a few dollars and you'll be happy. You'll have some experience making some content, talking in front of the camera, blah. So I will say it's worth it as long as you're okay with this brain dead, boring part and you can keep on going. And how much are you usually looking to make? Anywhere from 100 to, I'd even say, 10,000 a month. I have seen some people have done 100,000 a month as well. I know some people who have done that on TikTok. Obviously, that takes more skill and more dedication. You'll probably be spending about 5 hours a day for months and months before you get to that. But is that too bad? 100,000 a month. So you're telling me 100,000 a month, maybe a few hours a day you're doing every single day. That is not bad at all. So that's my final words on that. Take it as you will. TikTok reposting. Now, what this is basically is where you take videos from, it could be any videos, and you edit them in your own way and you repost them on TikTok and in the hopes that you will start getting paid off your views. How this works is TikTok has a monetization program called the Creators Reward Program. And once you've hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, you can join it. And then after that, every single time any video over 1 minute gets views, you get paid per 1,000 views. Right? So what is it basically? 10k followers. These are the things you need: 10k followers, 1 min plus vids, and you need, what else did you need? Views. Yeah, you need views. And if you're at 10k, you probably know how to get views already. So this is how you get paid with that. I did this, and what I did is I started reposting content. It was a comedy skits TikToker who I really like, and I really believed that his content was good and could get views. So what I did is I downloaded his videos. What I used to do is download his videos, edit them substantially so that it's original content, it's fair use, not just blatantly ripping it off. Because if you do that, you're not going to make any money. You have to edit them at least slightly. Sometimes I used to edit them a lot, sometimes not that much. And what you do is you just post those videos, get views, get followers, and make money. Pros of doing this: good money, decent money, right? I think all my whole time I probably made a few thousand off this, maybe 2,000 plus. Not too much money, but then again, I didn't spend way too much time on this, but a decent amount of time. So it's good money. And the pros is faceless. It's someone else's content that you're using anyways. And if you like the creator, you can morally justify it by saying that, oh, you're bringing them more exposure, you're making them more famous. So it's a win-win situation because you make some money off it and you make the person more famous. Now, you don't have to do this with just one person. That's what I did. You can make a page where you do multiple different creators or other sort of content as well. It doesn't need to be anything. It's just faceless. It's just taking videos off the internet, changing them in a way where it's original and you put your own spin on it, and maybe even make them more likely to go viral by making them more engaging. You post them. So that's good. Low effort. I'm saying low effort, but it's only low effort if you're a good editor, if you know how to edit videos. If you're not that comfortable editing videos, it might be a bit of a learning curve, right? So cons are, again, it's sort of brain dead only in the way where it's not your own content. You have to sit there and you have to repeatedly go through other people's content and make those. So it has that slight edge of less creativity, but still more than the TikTok Shop affiliate because you still get to add your creativity to videos. To be fair, you could do that with the TikTok Shop affiliate as well, what I'm on about. So brain dead in that way. And the cons are that it takes time sometimes to get those 10k followers. 10k followers is a very decent amount to strive for on TikTok. I remember I started posting in April of 2024, and I basically got into the creators program in late June. So let's just say July is when I started getting paid, right? So April to July, how many months is that? That's about 3 months. And that's 3 months, maybe I say I posted about 50 to maybe 100 videos, somewhere in between that, I can't remember exactly. And most of my followers, I think I gained 8,000 followers from one video that went mega viral and got like 2 million views. So I got the followers off that. The rest of the 100 videos I made gave me 3,000 followers maybe. That account now, by the way, is saying at 60,000 followers, which is great, and I've made decent money off that, like in myself, right? And all I do sometimes is I just put 2 hours of work or something every week, maybe even less actually. I haven't worked on it in a few weeks, but I remember last month I spent about 3 hours bulk making like videos, because once you post like videos about one certain thing, you have such a good system of doing it that you can pump out content. So in 3 hours I made like videos, posted them, and I think it made me like £100 or something. What, 3 hours of work, £400? Amazing. So those are the good things about that. But then again, you need to have patience. You need to figure out that learning curve on how to edit videos. Learning curve. How to edit videos, how to make videos very engaging and stuff like that. Also, the con is that you will need to find a sort of niche and then stick to it as well. I picked one topic, one person, just at that. That can be a bit long sometimes, especially if you're someone who likes to branch out and has lots of different skills, lots of interests and stuff like I do. So that's the case. But long term, decent. Final words, should you do it? Only do it if you have the patience, if you have the drive, and you can edit videos nicely. If not, you can learn how to make videos nicely, edit videos nicely as well. Then again, it takes some time and might be frustrating. Like I remember when I started posting videos on this channel, it used to take me 1 or 2 hours to make one video. And like I gave the example now, in 3 hours I made like 2 videos, right? That's what I mean. It takes time to learn. And if you're okay with that, and you're okay with putting in time, and sometimes your channels will fail, that's fine. But you have to sort of experiment with it. If you're okay with putting in that risk, do it. Oh, another con that I forgot to mention. TikTok money is so unstable. Like talking very unstable because their RPM, so basically how much they pay you per 1,000 views, fluctuates a lot. So I've been at times where most videos in a month are getting 50 per 1,000 views, right? 50p per 1,000 views. So that's would usually most of my videos would get 100k to 200k views. Each video was making me. So on TikTok it works a bit differently. So if I have 200k, I'll probably make about £50 off that video. Yeah, I'll make about £50 per video. So I would make about 20 to 50 per video, which is fine because if I'm posting like 15, that's a few hundred. And this month and the last month, suddenly my RPM dropped down to 0.05. So now on these videos, I'm getting paid like $5. Insane drop off. And I've worked a lot on this channel. I've maybe spent, okay, I say a lot, I spent 100 to 200 hours, which is not that much considering, but it's still time, All that effort has just gone down to what, 5p per 1,000 views? No, thank you. Which is why I have mostly abandoned all of that. So keep in mind that that will also probably be the case. If you're okay with that, go ahead, try it. If you're okay with taking the risk, go ahead, try it. What I moved on to after that has been YouTube. But I don't want to get onto YouTube right now because that's what I'm doing currently. I'm going to talk about that in the end. Let's talk about these two, which I did as well. Snapchat Spotlight. Snapchat Spotlight is basically the TikTok of Snapchat, where Snapchat has a monetization program where if you upload the short form content, it's basically like short brain dead TikToks, right? The most brain rot short form, you'll find it on Snapchat. You go there, and Snapchat Spotlight first started, people were getting paid insane amounts of money for their content. Remember when it started, they had a large pool. I think they were giving away 1 million a day to creators who were making it. So they had a large pool of money that they were giving out to creators who were making spotlights. Spotlights that were getting 1 million views or something like that were, being paid tens of thousands for those videos. Now it's not like that. They changed that to you can only make a limit of 1,000 a month on Spotlight. But it wasn't that difficult to make the 1,000. So people were still doing it. Now it's become even more difficult to do it with these new monetization rules and stuff. At the start, making money on Snapchat has been very unreliable. Definitely more reliable than any of the other ones that I've talked about before. TikTok affiliate, it's a decent amount of stable, right? I know I said it wasn't unstable, but it's not that unstable. You can still kind of happen. With TikTok creator program, not so much, but with Snapchat Spotlight, definitely not. And I was actually never able to make money off it because they never accepted me into their program, which is so random. So random how you do that. So what I did is I just posted loads and loads of videos every single day. And I gained 50,000 followers on Snapchat in like 2 months, I'll say, which is decent, right? Like I didn't get monetized, even though they said you only need like 1,000 something followers to start making money. Never made a penny, even though so many of my videos got millions of views. No money made, nothing heard from them. So pros, it's lots of money, especially if you become like a Snapchat something and you really work on Snapchat and you hit that point where you start making money off Snapchat. Once that's done, there's a lot of money on Snapchat. Like I'm tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands for the least amount of work. But that point comes very unreliably, unstable. I recommend it. Final words. No, I would not recommend it. The only way that I would recommend it is if you can post Snapchat content. If you have an interesting life and you are broadcasting, and at the same time it's taking a very small amount of time from your day, or if you have the money and means and resources to get someone else to do it for you, or if you have a tool like repurpose.io where you post content somewhere else and it automatically uploads on Snapchat and then eventually you'll make money off it, maybe. And if you want to take that risk, fine. But if you want to grind on Snapchat with the hopes of making money, it's a big risk. If you do it, amazing. But if you don't, you've wasted too much time. And you would have rather spent that doing TikTok or YouTube or like dropshipping, we're going to get into next, where at least you could expect some results. So Snapchat, I wouldn't recommend unless you have enough to just do it and it's not going to affect your life at all. But for a first timer who's trying to make money online, it's probably the worst one to get into. And I will say that it's brain dead and brain rot. It's just it's hellhole. So just don't. Now, drop shipping. What is it? Everyone's heard of drop shipping, right? It's basically when you sell things that you don't hold inventory of. So let's say, for example, I will take this gummies again. If I wanted to drop ship these, what I would do is I would make a website or I'd do anything I can sell these. And if I sell them, I don't hold any of these myself. What I do is the person that has these, I just order it from them. I send it to the customer that I acquired and I sell it to the customer at a higher price than I buy this for. And then I get to keep whatever the difference is. So if I bought this for 20 and I can send it to the customer for 20 and I sell these myself for 30, I get to keep the 10. It's that simple. You can do this from where things are very cheap and you go like a that you get for £5, $5, and you make a website, everything, and then you start making ads for it and then you sell those for 20, let's say. You get to keep the profit. Sounds very good in practice, right? Thing is, it's very competitive and it takes a lot of skills to do it. That's how you make money off it, okay? How to really do it most often is done with Shopify. Shopify is a platform where you can make websites and e-commerce sites. Then what you do is after you made a Shopify website on a product that you've already chosen, you found the manufacturer, you found the supplier that's going to supply you with a cheap item and deliver it to the customer quickly, reliably, efficiently, on time. Make the Shopify website, you advertise it, however paid ads or organic traffic as well, if you just make the content yourself and hope that people buy it like that, like the TikTok shop affiliate, right? If this is something I'm drop shipping, I would make videos on these and sell them, but instead it's my own whatever system that I've made and I'm selling it under my own name and keeping the profit. So that's how it would work. You do the ads and then you get customers, you get sales, and you make the money. Okay, this can be done in lots of different ways. So how did I do this? I have done drop shipping I think twice. One, and both times it was from AliExpress. So I made a website, chose the product, found the supplier, blah blah blah, everything that I needed to. But I sort of when it came to now making the ads, because I didn't have the product on hand for the first one. So I just stopped. That was sort of like a test experiment for me. And then the second one, where I made it, I put a lot of work into it, like 2 work. And then when it came to actually making the ads for it, I don't know, I just sort of stopped doing it, which is very silly of me because I should have continued it maybe, but I just stopped. Don't ask me why, I just started doing something else. How was my experience with it? What are the pros and cons, I think? And my final words, I'll tell you. Pros are, you are the boss. It's fun because it's a whole project and you're kind of a legitimate brand actually. So you get to be in control of the whole process. It's very fun in that sense, if you're into that. If you're a real entrepreneur, that's gonna like get you going. Other are money to be made, to be fair. Money to be made, and it's very scalable. So once you start making the money, you can start investing in paid ads, increase the budget of the ads, more revenue, then you negotiate better deals with the suppliers. You get your own branding on the product. You get so much, which is amazing. Scale the business up to millions. Even some people have done that, and then you venture off and you make much that can be done with it, and then you can even sell that shop for millions. So in that case, it's amazing because there's no ceiling to it. Like, you scale that up to whatever. I think there's many that have scaled their things to like $100 brands. They do like that, which is amazing. Cons: when you're starting out, and especially if you're doing it just by yourself, you will need to learn so many skills. You will need to learn how to make a website. You will need to learn how to make ads. You will need to know how to find suppliers. You will need to know what tools to use. You will need to know how to run those ads. You will need to know how to make content. You need to know how to troubleshoot problems on your website. You need to know how to pay your taxes and make sure everything is legal. You need to make sure that what you're doing is effective in terms of profit margins and costs. So you need to be a businessman, you need to be an accountant. What else are that you need? I'd say there's a few more. Let me think of them. The whole process. Yeah, you know how to be a good writer because you need to make lots of copy. You need to do copyright on your website, and you need to make it compelling. You need to know how to sell to the customer. So you need to know how to do all of these things before you even think of making your first dollar, right? Also, another con is that in my experience, I've found you need some money to get started, right? I am someone, I don't really have a lot of money to invest in these things. But if you did, I would say you need a few hundred at least to put into a website just to throw away. You could spend as much as you want making a dropshipping something, but you'd at least need a minimum of 100, 200 if you want to make it worthwhile. Just because you need to pay for the Shopify subscription, if you're doing paid ads, you need ad budget. You need to probably order a few of the samples of whatever product you're selling so that you make content on it. You need some money so that you might buy some tools for your website to make your website better. And hiring someone to do any of the work in between, that will cost some money as well. So there's a bit of a budget that you need to start. With the rest of the ones that I've told you, there's no budget that you need to start. But with this, you probably need a little bit. And if you're starting out and you really don't know what you're doing, you might end up spending a lot of money. But if you know what you're doing and you've learned and you've spent time educating yourself, blah, 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 I'd say you could probably do it in a few hundred, right? Not 100. I'd say at least 300 to 500 would be good if you want to be comfortable enough, right? Final words. Is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Okay, even though it's very saturated, just learn how to do it better. Just do it like your competition is doing it. It's not that difficult. But you will spend a lot of time doing it. And you will probably fail a few times before you succeed. Which is okay. That's not a big deal. And there's a lot of money to be made. Worth it? Yes. But at times it can be very boring. Like I said, in the cons, you need all these skills. And in learning all these skills, sometimes you get stuck. And when you get stuck, you really spend hours and hours finding a solution to a very problem which you never thought you would have to go through, right? Sometimes it's just like a little section on your website that you need to fix and you cannot find a way to do it. And it will take you hours, maybe even days trying to fix that. So that you run into so many problems which you will need to find a way to figure out. So in that way, it can be very boring sometimes because you are probably not a website designer and you will need to learn that on the job. And when you're learning that on the job, it can be difficult and it can be very boring sitting there trying to design a website or whatever, to an example. Ultimately, it's worth it. If you're going to put in a year to 2 years mastering it and putting in hours and hours and hours, you'll succeed. I'm sure you will. And you'll make a very decent amount of money from it. However, it's not as easy now as it used to be. Just because everyone's trying to do it, you will need to find a way to get the product that you're trying to dropship. Because if there's a product which is too good to be true, someone's probably already doing it, and it's not even, So finding that one product where you're gonna find it, usually that's the most difficult part. So if you can get around that and you can find what you're trying to dropship and you can find a way to do it, excellent. Well done. You'll probably do well. Now let's get on to this one. The one that I am currently investing all my time into and what I personally think is going to be the one that I actually make the best amount of money with for the time being. It's YouTube. So in the past few months I've moved on to YouTube. I have always wanted to do YouTube. Who hasn't? If you ask Gen Z what they want to do in their future, what they want to be, I think it's like what 50 or 80% say I want to be a YouTuber, and it was the same for me. Not to brag or anything, but I was actually one of the people who, are early to YouTube in the way that I've grown up on YouTube, these classic YouTubers and stuff, like OG YouTubers. I grew up watching them, so of course I wanted to be a YouTuber. And there's decent money to be made in YouTube, so why not? Let's move on to that. So the first thing that I did, and I started this maybe in summer of 2024 as well, I did this. YouTube faceless longform. What is this? So by long form, I just mean videos that are, the ones, just normal YouTube videos that you're used to. And this is what I started doing. And faceless just means, yeah, I don't know my face. It's just, whatever it might be. But it's not my face. And it's not anything to do with who I am as a person. The one you're watching right now, this video, of course, has to do with me. Like, this is my own personal channel, but faceless one isn't. Now, what is it exactly? I already told you what it is. How do you make money with it? You make money with it with sponsorships and blah blah. But just make money with it with AdSense, which is you get paid for your views that you get on your channel. For that, of course, you need the 1,000 subs and you need the 4 hours of watch time. How long does that usually take? To be honest, if you're doing faceless and you're doing it right, not that long. 1, 2, 3 months. You might say that's long. It's not long. That's okay. It's not until you're after your 20th good video that you've posted that your channel really starts taking off. Okay? Just if you're trying to do that. At least post 20 good videos before you expect any views. I don't expect any views on this channel you're watching right now. So, this is just my passion. You get me? 20 good videos. Pros? Yes, okay, no, I didn't explain what I actually did. So I made a faceless channel where it was just stories. A certain niche, I'm not going to expose it fully, but it's just commentary. They're very easy videos to make. Footage in the back, story, boom, that's it. Even used AI to help me. Not completely make the scripts, but help me use scripts a little bit longer or refine them a little bit and stuff. So it's not too difficult. So pros is that not too long if you find the right thing to do. But it can also be very long if you're trying to make very good, high quality content, which I recommend, by the way, if you can put in the work. It will pay off. I promise it will pay off. Not too long. You can have a passion in what you're doing, so it can be fulfilling work. Very money to be made. Usually you can make $1 to $10 per 1,000 views, which is good. So if you gain like what K views in a month, that's okay. Let's say you're at 1 million views a month, right? Which will probably happen a few months after you've started and you're making good videos. That's a few thousand a month, which is amazing. So that's good. I really like these things, and YouTube is really stable as well. Probably the most stable out of all of these. Once you get started, once you make those videos, you know what you're doing. The money is stable. The views are stable. Cons. You need to know skills. Script, editing, storytelling. What else do you need to know? Like, you can I'm not the best YouTuber in terms of making face content, but faceless content, I am better at it because I'm not showing my face. I'm not just speaking, it's not raw videos like this. So you need to know how all of these different skills, a little bit of writing as well. So these skills you need to learn especially the editing one can be a bit long for some people, which is why I really recommend you learn how to edit videos. It's an amazing skill to have in this century. What other are there? The results, they're instant. They take time. They usually, when you're making videos, yeah, I'm saying 20 videos you need to make before seeing any um results. I'm 20 videos, consistently, and by consistent I mean not more than a few days apart. So a month I want you to post. Let's say, yeah, in a month I want you to post more than 20 good videos. Can you do that? Probably not. Sounds easy, but getting to that goal, you with your motivation, with your drive, with that new energy, you make 5 videos max. After that, you're not seeing any results. You don't know what you're doing. Even if you know what you're doing, which I do, it's still difficult to keep going to make those videos for free. No one's paying you, no one's even watching. You have to sit down and you still have to do it. Can you do that when you've got a busy life? No, most people will quit. So they take time, and if you don't have the patience to stick through it, you might as well have never started. Yeah. So final, is it worth it? Absolutely. If you can take my advice, which I said that it takes time and you need to literally just be delusional and believe in yourself. If you can be delusional to a level, it will work for you. But people will tell you to stop doing it because, who that you can be a YouTuber, like not many people, right? And the people in your life will probably look at you like you're being stupid and wasting your time, which maybe you are if you're going to give up, but if you're not, and if you're going to be crazy enough to stick through it, you'll be fine. So final words, yes, do it. Very similar to this, sort of the same advice as over here, same kind of pros and stuff. Use two faceless short form. I actually made a very long video on this. You can check it out on my channel, how I make these videos, like my raw of how I make these YouTube short form videos. So what I've done is I've started like a science short form YouTube shorts channel, like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Joe Rogan and all of these people. And it's just highly edited shorts, which I have maybe posted a 40 odd by when I'm recording this video, and I continue on at least making 100 before I think about anything else. So I really believe that this is also a good way to make money, and also something which I get a little bit of passion in, and I like stuff like that. So pros of this is good money, yeah. Pros, good money, and not too difficult to make one video at a time, right? Like one video take you that long, maybe an hour, 2 hours. So it's not too difficult in that way. Once you learn the sort of like stuff and how to make viral videos, which if you don't, you can go watch my long video on it. If not, there's so many videos on YouTube that will tell you how to do it, and then you just learn yourself, and it's fine. Not too difficult. There's a bit of like instant dopamine. Like I've done videos, okay, for a light amount, because I just told you it takes an hour to like 3 hours to make one video. And I've made 40 of those. And I only have gotten about how much, 700k views total, which on shorts is nothing because you need at least 10 million to even start making a penny. And that 10 million in the last 90 days. So do I have a guarantee of if it's even gonna blow up? No, but will it? Hopefully, probably. So yeah, these are the pros. Other than that, the cons are it's less stable than the long form. The long form is probably the most stable, but also the one that takes the longest time to grow. With shorts, you post one. Yes, you need the momentum after a few months. It's the same about 100 shorts before you even think about looking at the results. And by I mean 100 good, just 100 shorts, which, when I say mean, that takes time, it takes effort to make something good. You're looking at about 100 before you start seeing results, which can be 1 to 3 months. Okay, and with shorts, actually, preferable to be very consistent, and by very consistent, I mean one a day. So in 1 to 3 hours of work every single day. If you can, it's fine. If you can't, then maybe this is not for you. So that's a con, right? Can you do 1 to 3 hours a day for 3 months before expecting even $1? If you can, good. If not, then yeah, this is probably not you. Actually, if you can't do 1 to 3 months of lots of effort every single day for 1 to 3 months, then I would probably say none of these are for you, right? None of these things are for you, and none of these things would have been for me either in that way. Final words on the YouTube faceless shorts? Absolutely. Do it. It's good experience. You will figure out how to edit videos. You'll be good at editing. You'll be good at business later on, by the way. Okay, so the point with and with the faceless YouTube long form either as well, that once you start making money off it, then you just outsource it. That's the real point, isn't it? It's the automation. Once you make the money off it, so once you start making, I'd say 500 to once you start making 500 to 1,000 a month, that's when you hire someone to do it for you for about 500 to 700, right? You find someone who can make that content that you made for that much, and then it grows. You train them how to do it. It grows. You hire an editor, and then you get to keep the profits. That's the end goal. And that's how you make this passive, and that's how you make loads of money from this. And then you repeat the process with another channel. That's the point. Um, so kind of worth it. Yeah, I'm gonna say doing this. I believe in this. So yes, yes, yes. Let's see how it goes. If you subscribe to this channel, if you've made it so far, you probably need to subscribe to the channel, and I'll keep you updated with how it's going. But this is my advice for now. If you have any questions, the comment section's right there. I really don't have any views on these videos anyway, so like I'm gonna reply.